guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here again with my journal. I have to say it's really stuffed. But yeah, I'm still actually stuffing it, would you believe? So yeah, I've still got lots of other bits to go in it. So yeah, they're kind of just shoved in roughly where they're going to go. So it's probably looking worse than it actually is. But I recently did a video where I think we decorated the cover, or we might have done a couple of other things inside. I can't actually remember. But I wanted to kind of revisit because we talked about what to do if your signature goes quite loose. So I just want to kind of show you to demonstrate what I'm actually talking about here. So obviously what has happened is I've bound my journal and then I've, filled it. And now if you can see, I'm going to try and show you. Can you see it's moving about? So I'm holding the cover still. The cover is still, but the signatures themselves, or the signature itself, is now moving about. And to be honest, that does happen, occasionally. Now, I didn't really know why it happened. And I mean, I'm still not claiming to, be an expert or anything like that. But I sometimes think it depends on the embroidery thread that I use. So some embroidery thread, I think, is a little bit more elastic. And therefore, once the journal has been opened lots of times and it's got more full, the embroidery thread, can you see, it's got a lot of give there. Can you see that? So it's, possibly very stretchy. Because, I mean, obviously when I bound the book, it was very tightly pulled. And I've obviously double knotted it. So, I mean, it's not like it's, just kind of gone floppy or anything. So I'm thinking that this kind of just has some elasticity to it. And that's what happens. So what can you do when that happens? And I've ordered a bookbinding kit from Amazon. So I've only just opened it, haven't actually looked inside to see what's in it, but I have a tape measure, I won't be using that. I have one of those, I think this is like to unpick threads. Very helpful. Haven't got one of those, haven't ever had one of those before. Oh, and a smaller one, I think, of the same thing. Should really put my glasses on for this, but I think they're in my bag now. Yep, I can't even find them. So yeah, no chance. Right, but what it came with was some bookbinding or bookbinders threads. So that's what I'm going to use instead of embroidery thread in this, in this journal. Like I say, I mean, I haven't ever purchased one of these before. It's the first time purchase. So, I mean, this is not an essential, I have normally used embroidery thread and, that's worked absolutely fine. As I say, it's just occasionally there seems to be embroidery threads that have this kind of elastic kind of thing going on. So this kit, as you can see, it came with various different colours. I'm going to use the ivory, and it's come with various different size needles. So let's just grab a needle. Oops. Right. Thinking probably this one might be a good size. Oh my goodness, I hope that I'm going to be able to actually get my thread through this. I should have probably threaded before coming on to do the video, but I really wanted to kind of show you the kit and everything that came in with it. It's also got this little tool. I don't know what this is, whether or not this is to unpick more stitches. If anyone knows what this is, let me know. I do not have a clue. Absolutely rubbish when it comes to things like this. No clue whatsoever. Right, I'm going to have to put my glasses on because, to be honest, I think I'm just going to struggle too much to actually be able to do this without them. So, oops, let me just grab them from my bag, which is behind me. Right, okay, glasses on. Right, we will get our bookbinder's thread. So, I mean, the fact it is actually for bookbinding, I'm hoping means that this is super strong and not got any elasticity to it. So, you'd hope, wouldn't you? Okay, right. Let's thread this through the needle. Okie dokie. Right, now I'm going to use this exactly how I use my embroidery thread, in that I'm going to, double it up so it's doubly strong. And what I normally do is approximately 3 times the size of the journal, if you see what I mean. Because then you've got hopefully enough to go in through the 3 holes, because this is just a 3-hole pamphlet stitch and then kind of back through a couple of them. So yeah, that's how I kind of measure. Now what I'm going to do, so as it makes it nice and easy and I don't have to be holding this in, I'm going to just leave the original thread in and just go in through the original hole, because that way I'm not having to re-pierce or anything like that, or hold with bulldog clips or anything, because of course the original binding is holding it all in place. So that's all I'm doing, and then I'm just going to go from the outside and hopefully find the other hole. Oh my goodness, which of course now I can't really see. I think this is the hole. Let's hope for the best. Back through the original hole. Now the other thing that I find can make this go kind of elasticy and loose. Oops, I've not gone through the original hole. Oh, I'm making a bit of a mess of this, I have to say. So, oh dear. Right, well, we'll have to go through there. The other thing that can happen is when you do the cover, I sometimes find that putting glue on, if you get the glue on the embroidery thread, it can cause that kind of elasticy thing to happen. So it could be that that's what's caused the the elasticity to kind of come out in the thread. So yeah, I mean, they're just kind of things that I've noticed can happen. And to be fair, I don't know whether it's that it doesn't always happen, or whether it's that it doesn't happen with every type of thread. Oh, I'm really not making a very good job of this. So let me try and go through these a couple of pages at a time, and perhaps I will have a bit more luck. Okay, right. Like that. And then what I do is go back through the... Oh, hang on, I've found loads of them, and now I've just suddenly got like a total memory blank. Do I want to go through the middle and then down and along the length, or do I just want to go back down the whole length? No, yes, I want to go through the middle. So back through the middle, like that. Okay, pull that through like that. Now at this point, obviously my book is kind of held together. So at this point you could cut away your original embroidery thread, just because, it might be in the way a bit, or, just kind of, you might find it helpful to actually get it out of the book. So I'll just cut it here. Okie dokie. And then you can just pull it out, a piece at a time, or however you can get it out. So yeah, this is coming out kind of like one piece at a time. Oops, she says. This is probably where I could do with that little stitch unpicker thing. Okay. Oh, I can't see a thing. It's not very good lighting. I'm actually doing this in the evening, or, well, it's not really the evening, but it's like 6 o'clock. Well, just gone 6 o'clock. I don't normally film at this sort of time, so it's not the best lighting, it's got to be said, and particularly for doing something that's a little bit, requires a bit of precision. Right, okay, so what's actually happened is it wouldn't pull through because my glue has actually, glued the thread together on the back, if you can see that. So, I mean, that's probably obviously what's caused the issue with it going kind of elasticy in the first place, was obviously once it got glued, it sort of ruined the integrity of the thread. Right, so, oops. Oh, I'm still not really able to pull that out. Okay, well, I might just ignore that for a minute, and we will just get carrying on what we were doing. Otherwise, I could be here all night. I'll tidy that up afterwards. So, okay. So I just want to make sure that I've kept my ends of my new embroidery, bookbinders thread, which are those, just keep them accessible. And then I'm just going to go back in through the top hole like that, back through there, and then I'm just going to go back in through the middle like that. Oops, she says. Oh, come on, needle. Okay, right, okay. So finally my needle's come back through. And then I can obviously pull my book binding thread, pull it tight. And actually it's helpful to put it through here. Like that. Just going to cut this so this is all gone because it's a little bit in the way. Okay. Right. Sorry, this is really, you know, what I would call making a meal of this. Oh dear. I think I'll have to pull that from the other side because, of course, this has probably got glue on now as well. So, yeah. Let's just go here. I can't even see where that thread is. There it is. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, again, if you can see, it's kind of got glue on. So what I could do even is actually just cut that to like release it. Okay, and then there we go. Right. Okay, have I got it all now? I can't really see. Ah, I'm so sorry. This is probably the worst demonstration of this type of thing that you've ever seen, I'm sure. I feel like it's the worst demonstration I've ever seen, and I'm not even watching it. I'm just doing it. Oh, right. Okay, so we can just cut this out now. Okay. Right, I still need to tidy this up, but again, you know, I'm going to, I think, do this after the video because I could be here all day trying to get that over here. So yeah, I'm going to just come back to that because it's just boring even watching. And then obviously you can just then tie your threads, you know, as if you just bound the journal for the first time, not the, you know, not the second time, and tie it off like that. Okay, and then we can just tie the threads down. So what you should have now is tighter signature. Okay, so it's in there now tightly and, you know, securely. So yeah, I mean, obviously I need to still trim this down. It's very annoying that it's not come out. I've never had this happen before. Normally when I've kind of done it, sometimes I've left the original thread in as well. You know, just kind of depends really, but yeah, up to you really. You can leave the original thread and the new thread. That's absolutely fine too. Just, you know, no rules. Go with kind of how you want to do it. But that now is in there much more securely, if you can see. So it's all good, even if it took a lot of mucking about getting there. And I can finally pick those couple of bits out, which are still got little threads coming out. Okay, so then, oops, I'm going to just go to my front cover, and this is that, you know, fussy collage cover that we did. And I know that I said at the time, I just wasn't quite happy with it. And, you know, I wasn't quite sure what else it needed. Still not 100% sure what else it needs, to be honest. I'm just going to put my, you know, bookbinding stuff away. Let me just pop it all to one side. Okay, so it's, oops, so it's out of the way. I'm still not 100% sure what it really needs, but I definitely want to go down the spine and cover up the spine. So I'm just going to kind of cut this lace down again, cutting it off of like the header piece. And I'm just tearing it down because I quite like the look of it being torn rather than really neat and tidy you know, cut on there. So just tear that down. Okay. Okay, get rid of all those frayed bits. They go almost like furry once they fray, don't they? So I could have the white lace down there. Just having a look. Do we like the white? Don't mind it. Now, I'd also got this, and I think we played around with this, you know, last time. And yeah, I'm still toying whether to have this here. I know it's kind of covering up that postage stamp, which is a bit of a shame, but I do really like it there. I mean, it could go, I guess, well, it could go there. Definitely, yeah, I definitely like it, I think, in the middle. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Now, just wondering whether to have any closure coming out from here, because obviously if I want to have a closure coming out from here, I could always secure it underneath the lace, you know, before I stick the lace down. So it's always worth kind of considering what type of closure you're going to have. Now, I've got obviously lots of pinks and reds going on in this, and I've brought along, oops, some of my daughter's old clothes. So I'm just going to grab her. She's got like a red skirt here. Now, it's got, unfortunately, glue and things all over it because she's a bit of a messy person, just like her mum, and obviously crafts in her clothes, you know, that, well, I mean, we all craft in our clothes, I guess, you know, unless we're doing it naked, but yeah, she crafts in her clothes and mucks up her clothes, is what I mean. So I'm just going to cut this off of the seam like that. Hold on. Now, I might not be able to get a piece without that blob of glue on it. So let me just cut this down. Sorry, I know this is off camera, but I'm struggling to do it on camera, if you see what I mean. So just going to cut this away from the piece. Now I might decide that this is not really even quite right because, you know, it's possibly too red. What do you think? I mean, I am going to have this, I think, here. Or I also have brought along a couple of pink items of hers. So there is a pink skirt, which I could go for the pink. Or I've got some that's actually ready cut, which might be even better. So hold on a second. Just going to look into my cupboard. Oh, okay. Right. Ah, maybe that one. What do we think? I did like the red. Let me just open it again and see how red it is inside. Oh, it's not as red as I thought, to be honest. Right, I'm going to discard the red now. Yeah, plan B. So I'm going to go with the pale pink. So let's just take some of that. Okay. So I've got this piece, which is obviously quite long. Now I'm just going to see if I kind of glue it underneath the, you know, the, like the seam or, you know, the spine, whether it's long enough to actually tie it round. Okay, so that's fine, it is. So yeah, I'm going to leave that in place there. And what I'm going to do is just literally glue that down here so as it's held in place. Okay, and then I'm going to just glue it down on the back as well, like that. Now obviously all of this is going to be covered up by that white lace, so you know, not really too worried how it looks, but at least I've secured it roughly, you know, into place where it needs to be. So I'm just going to take my white lace now and we're going to glue that on right over there. Now I probably want it further back, if you see what I mean, so as I have less on the front and more on the back. So I'm really sorry that the view is not better for this. It's very hard to kind of fit it in, you know, on camera and, you know, still have it at an angle that's kind of workable. So I do apologise. Obviously it would have been, you know, it would be better to kind of have it flat, but then of course I wouldn't really probably be able to get to it. So to be able to get to it, it's got to be kind of up on its side really. And then I'm not sure that the view is so good. So I'm really, really sorry about that, guys. Okay, so pop that down like that. And then on the back, again, just kind of go along here, and I'm just going to go right the way like that. Okay. So I've got a lot more of that lace on the back because predominantly the back is actually plain of this journal. So having, you know, a wider piece of lace at the back is quite nice because it's obviously filling in some of the space that's on the back. But also, you know, I didn't want to have it too wide on the front because I didn't want it covering up a lot of that pretty decoration and things that we've got going on the front. So, yeah, just pressing it down, and I probably want just another little bit here, like that. Now, I'm just using hot glue here. I just find the hot glue really quick, really easy, you know, but you could use Fabri-Tac or, you know, any glue that that you find works best. Okay, let me just trim that up. Get rid of those little bits and pieces. So, I mean, I like the tatty look, but I just didn't want those kind of furry type bits or frayed bits there. Hello, beautiful girl. So like that. Now I'll turn it back round to show you. Now I'm going to cut this off because obviously it's, you know, it's quite big, like that. Thank you, sweetie. And then just want to see whether we want to have anything else on here. So I've brought along some other laces and bits. So just check whether we want to have anything else. Okay, so I might just have a little tiny bit of lace down here at the bottom. Just kind of like, you know, at an angle, not kind of really uniform or anything like that. So, yeah, let's just pop that one down. Like that. Okie dokie. Just check it's properly glued here at the end. Okay. Don't think I want any more pink lace anywhere, but I will just double check. Just in case. No, I think that's probably it. And then, yeah, I'm still debating on this piece. Now, we could have it here, which looks pretty scrumptious, doesn't it? Or we could have it here. Now, obviously, if we have it here, it's kind of under the closure. I don't mind that. Here, the only problem is I feel it's a little bit vulnerable. I would have to glue this neck down a bit more because otherwise it's going to actually be just glued onto the net and then be kind of, you know, movable on the net, which of course is then going to be, you know, what's the word? Well, a fragile point. Definitely. So I'm just going to undo this. So that's the closure as is. So this is how it would look undone if it's here. Oops, if it's here, obviously the closure would be glued down to about that point and then it would undo like that. So yeah, I think I'm preferring it here where we kind of originally said. So I know it does cover up that stamp, which is a shame because I quite like that stamp, but I do think it's better there, so let's just pop it down here like that. Okie dokie. Just hold that in place. Okay, so yeah, looking really, really pretty. I don't think I want anything else on the cover. Yeah, I don't think I want anything else, but we could always have like, you know, a charm or something like that hanging. So I'm just going to add a little touch more glue here for this white lace. Whoops, sorry, I've just dropped my glue gun. Sorry about that. Okay, and then a bit more here. And just a little bit more there, run down the edge. Okay. Okay. Oh, how scrumptious does that look? So we've got that big fussy collage cover which super fun. I haven't really ever done anything like that on a cover before, so really, really love how that turned out. It's really, really pretty. Yeah, and then we've kind of covered it with some bits of lace, and we've added the closure. Now, just wondering, I'm just going to check on that dress again, or that skirt. I just want to see if there were any flowers on that skirt that could go on there. I'm thinking a red one would be nice, but I don't think that had any flowers on it. Oh, it just had a little bow. Yeah, that's a bit weird, because that would be like 2 bows, because obviously that jabot is a sort of bow, isn't it? Okay, in which case, got these flowers. This is one of my daughter's dresses. Not so keen with those sequin middles. I could always cover the middle up. I haven't cut into this dress yet, and it seems wicked. She wore this once, I think. Yeah, you know what it's like, and you buy these things in the sale and they're a good bargain, and you know, what have you, and then of course, you know, they never wear them, in which case, you know, how much of a bargain was that? To be honest, it really wasn't much of a bargain at all, was it? Because she didn't really wear it. Right, it's got quite a few flowers, to be honest, so right, let's just go for it and cut this out. So this flower, I don't want to kind of spoil the integrity of it. Again, it's kind of stitched onto the dress. So I'm going to cut it like this. Oops. Try and be careful I don't cut into the others. So first of all, so that I've got just a manageable piece there. And then all I'm going to do, I'm going to try and leave it. Can you see it's been stitched onto the dress? So I'm just going to try and leave it on to the base, if you see what I mean, like onto the base of the dress, because obviously if I cut, you know, try and cut it away, I think what's going to happen is the flower's going to fall apart. So I'm just going to cut it around where it's stitched on the dress, so it's still got the little base, which is effectively, you know, the dress piece. So let's just quickly bin that. Now just decide, I think it's quite nice here, so I'm just going to glue that down again with the hot glue. And I'm thinking, I mean, actually, I don't mind that, you know, glittery effect there now, actually. But I'm just going to check before I kind of definitely think, yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm going to just check whether I wanted to replace that centre, because I ordered a lot of centres recently from eBay. I wonder whether I could replace it. I don't think that's going to work, because this is a very shiny surface and this has got, you know, it's a little bit raised. I don't think it's going to happily glue down there, unfortunately. Oh, that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Yeah, that is a shame. I've got others that are big. I mean, I could, oops, could do a big one. That's too big. Oh, I've got a green one. No, they're all too big, and this is sort of rounded, so it's not going to be a good enough, you know, flat sort of surface to be able to glue a gem on, unfortunately. What I need is a gem that's not quite a flat back, but instead got like a hollow back, and then it would obviously, you know, fit in there. But I think probably I will leave it at that. I mean, to be honest, it's a beautiful cover, and you know, it looks really pretty as it is. I don't think it really needs anything else. I love how it looks. Yeah, and just really love, yeah, pretty much everything. I might just quickly put a little bit of pink lace down there on the bottom, just because otherwise I've just got that bit page, which looks a little bit boring, to be honest. So I'm just going to take a bit of pink lace here and just edge it just along there. And I will put one of my, you know, handmade by Shabbydabbydoodah little fabric labels on here as well. So I normally put those on the bottom in the middle somewhere, but obviously if, you know, if it won't fit along the bottom in the middle, I can obviously put it somewhere else. You know, it really doesn't matter too much. Okay, yeah, so I love how that cover looks now. It's really, really, really pretty. I mean, it's very, very, very fussy. So I'm just going to raise the camera slightly so that you can see it. properly because I'm not sure the whole thing is actually in. But I mean, obviously I will be back to do a flip through of the whole journal. I just need to stuff the insides. I mean, as if it's not stuffed enough, but yeah, some of the pockets are empty still. So I just need to kind of finish filling it, and then I will be back obviously with the flip through. So I hope that you like it, and you know, I apologize for that awful tutorial, but I hope that it kind of inspired you that if your pages are quite loose like that, you know, don't despair. Your journal's not kind of, you know, throw in the bin or anything. You can always rebind it, you know. So yeah, I hope that it did inspire confidence, even if it didn't in me. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.